Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, the basketball edition. First of all, I have to give a shout out to Tom McDermott. I don't just have to, I love to give this shout out. Tom McDermott, welcome back to the Adrienne Ross Show channel, and thank you for joining the highest level of membership there is, and that is the GOAT membership. I appreciate your support. I appreciate every member of the channel, every subscriber of the channel, and if you've not hit the subscribe button, please do so. That too would be much appreciated. Okay, let's get to the topic for today. There's been a lot of talk in recent days comparing or addressing comparisons between Caitlin Clark and JuJu Watkins. Paige Beckers has figured into that as well, but that's not what I'm focusing on today. JuJu, Caitlin Clark, and now JuJu has signed with State Farm, and we all know, of course, that Caitlin Clark is with State Farm, and so that has extended those comparisons. I did a video the other day that was called Let JuJu Be JuJu, because she's not Caitlin Clark, right? So I just want to share with you how JuJu has addressed some of those comparisons, but also want to take you and show you how Caitlin Clark has done for JuJu Watkins what Michael Jordan did for Kobe Bryant, and also what Kobe's mindset was regarding comparisons between him and Michael Jordan. And also, I really want to point out, want to show you something that jumped out at me, and that is how the GOAT of all GOATs, Michael Jordan, embraced Kobe Bryant and what he did for Kobe Bryant that really should have been done for Caitlin Clark when she came into the WNBA. But it takes something special to be able to do that. So we're going to get into it right now. Talksport.com has this headline: "Good person," that's a quote, "JuJu Watkins reveals Caitlin Clark's incredible gesture after signing lucrative NIL deal." So Caitlin Clark is making herself available to the next generation of women's basketball stars. Let's scroll down. Clark has offered her services anytime she needs them, she being JuJu. The Indiana Fever phenom won her second Wooden Award, awarded the most outstanding female college star in April. We know all the accolades Caitlin had in college and continued in the WNBA. Watkins was a finalist as a freshman, and while she did not leave with the trophy, she got something arguably more valuable: Clark's phone number. And this is what JuJu said. This is what she told NBC Sports. She made herself available and was like, "Whatever you need." And JuJu said, "I was grateful for her kindness." JuJu goes on to say, "Caitlin is a great player, but she's also a great person." Watkins is yet to hit up Clark for advice as she looks to forge her own path. So this is what JuJu says: "I'm sure she's adjusting to the WNBA, so I don't want to bother her too much. But yeah, if I ever do really need to, I'll make sure I reach out." And of course, she'll do that because Caitlin said, "Here's my number. I'll help any way I can." Now, this is early on. This was in April. Caitlin hadn't even played in the WNBA yet, but she knows what it is to be in the spotlight. She knows what it is to have people looking to her to perform, and also the stardom that comes with being successful. And so she reached out to, here's my phone number, JuJu. He goes on to say she's already taken her NIL valuation past 1 million after teaming up with Clark at State Farm. And JuJu says State Farm is a great brand and Caitlin is a great player. So to be able to share that honor with her and be a part of the State Farm family, it means a lot for me. Now, in terms of the comparisons with Caitlin, this article says, while Watkins appreciates the support of WNBA icon Clark, she is determined to be her own person. And this is what she told Athlon Sports: "I would say I just do my best to be myself and play my way. I don't really think too much about the comparisons or the pressure, but I would say I just go out there and try to have fun, do what I do, and continue to work hard. I think that's my mentality always." And this is what I was saying in my video, Let JuJu Be JuJu. And this is what she's saying: "I understand the comparisons. I've heard them, but I can't allow that pressure to mount. I just have to go out and be who I am." And it's kind of cool that she is Caitlin, who said, "If you need anything, I'm here for you. And that is what takes me to Kobe Bryant and how Michael Jordan responded to him. Michael Jordan could have been like we saw when Caitlin entered the WNBA, where they were, oh, there are levels to this thing, and kind of laughing about it, like, oh, reality is coming, and all the talk we get about the hazing of players and stuff. And I'm not saying none of that goes on in the NBA, but I am saying that the greatest of all time saw something in Kobe, and instead of being intimidated by this young kid, because that's what he was, instead he said, okay, I'll help you out. This is what Kobe had to say about that.
What I found that he was extremely open to having a relationship, a mentor relationship, and giving me a great amount of advice and an amazing amount of detail, strategies, workout regimens, and things like that. So, and seriously, I mean, I don't think people really understand the amount of impact that he's had on me as a player and as a leader.
Now, that's something that you have to be secure to do. Because if you're looking at another person as, oh, that person is just here to share, to steal my shine. That person here thinks he's all that. That person might end up being the name. And if you're thinking all those things, then you're not going to reach out, see someone with potential, and then give them advice. You know what he said? Nobody really knows the impact he had. No one knows how he helped me. No one knows how he gave me workout regimens. Who would do that, knowing that he's going to come up against you? Yeah, Michael Jordan's time is phasing out, but he's still in the league. And Kobe grew up watching Michael. If you notice Kobe, and just if you don't know, huge Kobe person here. Huge. I joke that he changed to number 24 because that was my basketball number. Huge. I still can't wrap my brain around the fact that he's not here anymore. Kobe. Love me some Kobe. Kobe, if you watch him, some of the mannerisms of Jordan. I said the first time I ever saw Kobe play, I said, we had heard for a long time. Every time somebody would come in, the next Michael Jordan, you would hear that. They talked about that with Grant Hill. They talked about that with Vince Carter. They talked about that, still talking about that with LeBron James. Just a constant conversation about the next Jordan. But the first time I saw Kobe play, I said, this is the closest to Jordan we ever have seen. And he took a lot of heat. In any case, Michael Jordan was willing not to be intimidated, but said, I'm going to help this young man to develop. When Caitlin Clark came into the WNBA, it was, oh, it's the privilege. It's not her, it's me. She's not the reason we got X, Y, and Z. Trying to hurt. I mean, there was all the stuff that we already know about. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I just speak facts. If you want to help the game, one of the things you can do is what Kobe did for Jordan, is say, we're all in better hands if the product is good. And if I can help the product be good and stay good, then we have longevity and we have a product that people want to tune in for. Same thing with Caitlin Clark. What did she say to JuJu? She said, here's my phone number. If I can help in any way, let me know. And it wasn't just to JuJu. JuJu's coach said the same thing, that Caitlin responded to her in like manner. This was an article I saw in a video back in October. So here's JuJu's coach, USC coach Gottlieb, talking about her interaction with Caitlin Clark concerning JuJu Watkins.
Our administration has reached out to Iowa quite a bit and said, okay, tell us what we need to know. You know, some of the things that Caitlin dealt with. I reached out to Caitlin and say, how can I help JuJu with this? I feel like it's my job to make sure that I'm using all the resources. I've tapped into my NBA people saying, okay, when you have someone, you know, who's going to get this much attention, how do you, you know, A, keep them safe, but B, allow them to embrace everything that's going on. So those are the resources that I've tried to use. And
what was the most valuable thing that Caitlin told you about how to help JuJu deal with the incredible pressure that we saw her deal with firsthand?
Yeah. Well, first of all, she is so gracious. She literally took my phone and said, here's my number, you know, reach out, call me, see how I can help. But essentially she said, I had that level of attention for, you know, she said like a year and a half, and she said, JuJu's going to have it for 3 years. So, you know, obviously try to let her get through the WNBA season, take a break, and then, you know, really ask her specifically about what she would do the same, what she would do differently. And we've talked with their program about everything from security to autographs to, you know, making sure we maximize this time, but also, you know.
Those are the things you don't always get to hear about how a player who's really transitioning herself is able to say, hey, I make myself available in the same way like Michael Jordan did with Kobe Bryant, right? But how did Kobe handle the comparisons? I just told you what JuJu had to say, and there's a lot of talk out there, some of it not so nice, people pitting these players against each other. Meanwhile, Caitlin's saying, hey, I'm there to help. And then you've got these people in the space and they're just trying to say, oh, JuJu and oh, Paige. Listen, none of them is Caitlin Clark, but they don't have to be, right? They don't have to be. And that's what JuJu said. I'm not feeling that pressure. And it's easy to say. It's more difficult to walk out, especially when the eyeballs are on you. So how did Kobe Bryant handle those comparisons? Did he want to be Mike? Did he want everybody to be comparing him to Michael Jordan? Did it make him have a head that was like, whoo? No, this is what he had to say about being compared to Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. How you gonna get mad at that comparison?
I'm not mad at it. You're talking about the greatest that ever played the game.
Okay.
Come on. I mean, just let me do me. Right? Just let me do me.
But does not Kobe want to be the greatest?
Yeah, I want to be compared with Michael Jordan.
But don't you want to be the greatest?
I want to be the best I can be. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Michael is Michael. And I've learned so much from him. And he and I always talk. I pick up the phone and call him. He's always there for me. And you gotta let me be me. You know, we're different people.
Let me be me. And that's what I said. Let these players be these players. Trying to displace a Caitlin Clark, which people are really trying to do, many of them. Trying to undermine her, which people are really doing. It's not cool. There's only one Caitlin Clark. But at the same time, there was only one Michael Jordan, and Kobe said, there's only one me, and I want to be me. That's it. And you know what? That's pretty good, okay? And while people are out there like, oh, it's JuJu, it's not Caitlin, it's going to be Paige, it's not, all this stuff. Meanwhile, you had your Michael reaching out to Kobe and saying, how may I help? You've got your Caitlin reaching out to JuJu saying, how may I help? Let's grow the game, right? Only one Caitlin Clark, but Caitlin Clark is willing to say, hey, I'll help you out a little bit. Give me a call. My State Farm sister. So I just thought it was interesting, not only how Kobe and JuJu handle the comparisons, but how Caitlin Clark is already doing for JuJu what Michael Jordan did for Kobe, and how the WNBA could benefit if they looked at new talent coming in and said, how might I embrace? How maybe Caitlin will, JuJu won't be coming in for a while, but maybe Caitlin will look at somebody else and say, how might I help? Because she's already doing it. She's already doing the Jordan thing. Just saying. All right, let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you, Monday.